The wacky world of MultimediaJay.
Hey man, chillax, dude. Oh, I'm so out of it. I shouldn't even be trying to do anything constructive tonight. But I want to record something because, you know, the whole Cyber Monday thing kind of blew over. I don't know, maybe Cyber Monday is losing its steam from what I hear. So over $3 billion in sales so far, up 12% from last year. But I don't think Where I Am has the product mix to really get slammed too much by it as of yet. So, Cyber Monday was home at the normal time. Today, day after Cyber Monday, was home at the normal time. So, well, so far at least, it's not a return to the mess that we dealt with at the end of last summer. So who knows? Maybe it won't be so Armageddon as I thought it was. Did that even make any sense? Well, couldn't possibly be any more duh sounding than putting food on your family and my damn televisions. My randomitis is acting up. I'm gonna have to take some medication or something. No, you know what's going on? Yep, there we go. Stand up on my own 2 feet. Woohoo! Alright, so the lighting's all wrong because one of the lamps fell over on Sunday night after I got done recording some stuff. I was trying to move the thing and it took a dive and the electric socket for the light is all screwed up. Let's put the replacement together and at least get the lighting working again properly tonight. Oops. Oh, well, I suppose we could use just one lamp, but that would be no fun. Yeah, so this thing broke this morning. The hamster wheel fan no longer spins. Big surprise there. The bulbs seem to be okay in this. But it kind of took a dive. So it's not that that's loose as much as this. No, that's secure. Dun 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 dun. Yeah. Wiggle wiggle. And you'll see the broken plastic inside as well. So yeah, well, I do have a replacement. Walmart had one of these left that didn't seem too scratched up. Let's see if I was right. Done. The lighting is finally back to 100% around here. Did have to mod the lamp a little to get it to work. The metal around the light socket was bent on one end like this, so I had to straighten it out with the pliers before any bulbs would go in. The way the lighting setup works is we have these two for daylight. We can also drop down to soft white to just one. What the? This is just as loose as the one it replaced. What's this world coming to? Let's compare the two. Okay, this one, it's loose, but it's loose. Oh, wow. Maybe this was someone else's return that got crushed in the warehouse. This one's wobbling loose, but it works. That one's loose, but it works. This one's tight, and it works. And then there's the broken one. The broken one fell over, took a little bit of damage, is loose, and it's crooked. It's loose and it turns in a rather crooked manner. I kind of straightened it out as much as I could, but there's some other loose parts in here that I was a bit worried about. Hold on a second. Maybe something was just loose. Maybe this thing still has something good left in it? No, I am not certifiably nuts. The old one does this because it fell over. The new one, despite its loose switch, does not. So, a little bit shoddy on the workmanship, but I mean, it's basically a bottom barrel Walmart special here, so anyways, that one doesn't move at all. That's the best of the three. Whatever.
Oh my goodness! goodness, Jay. You can't just use anything the way it was made. You gotta screw with it.
Well, while we're on that subject, it appears the switch just screws on. Let's take this thing a little bit more apart and see. The power is disconnected, so I wonder. There you go again. You can't just use something as it was made. Oh, I'm taking the whole thing off now. This cannot be done with one hand. Let's do some more disassembly. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, here's where the damage took place, and it lost a few chunks when it fell over. It looks like the socket might come out. Hey, there's the wiring for everything. Actually, if I undo those screws... you can't leave anything alone! Blah, 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 blah. Where's a flathead? Well, the Tinker project is done, and the socket is out, and just for fun, I put the switch back in. But here it is. This is the switch. We got our two screws right there for the AC, but look at this. It appears that the folks who built this electrical fixture tinned the wires, and then put them around so you don't have strands going every which way. I mean, I'm having some problems with my speaker wire right now, but tinning the wire will introduce resistance, and it'll screw up your sound quality. I think we'll save the plastic parts from this, because although it is technically repairable, we had that damage right there, and it's just too much work for too little results. I'd rather be tinkering with computers. Let's at least save the bowls, in case we have something where one of these falls over and all that happens is one of those things cracks. So that'll probably be a lot more useful than trying to resurrect this bottom barrel Walmart special whatever. So I wasn't able to make the recycling trip last week, and now, well, it could be the case that if the volume gets dead enough, if we never get a slice of the Cyber Monday Holiday Humbug pie, maybe my chance to recycle more old stuff might come sooner. Maybe even this Friday. So it's imperative that I make the decisions I'm going to make about the whole recycling thing sooner rather than later, which means cleaning off the desk sooner rather than later, which means putting everything in its bag sooner rather than later. There seems to be some kind of pattern here. Okay, I do believe everything represented here has some kind of great sift category, or some kind of bag it can go into. So, except for this thing. This is the piece of crap $20 or something like that MIDI connector I got for the keyboard that kind of fell apart on me on one of the DIN jacks. Yeah, looks like it was bent just a little bit, but if it doesn't take that much to make the metal casing come off... Oh, wait a minute, look at this, watch. Can I pull this off? Oh, probably. In other words, basically, it didn't take very much to take the metal casing off of the DIN jack. I found the crushed thing on the floor when I was cleaning everything up. I was like, what's this from? Oh, look! Huh, it only has pins, and now it won't focus, because it thinks I'm trying to film it. Oh yeah, this is crap. Bin. That can be binned. What I really like to bin is this archaic, outdated, yellowed Radio Shack power block. It's 12 volt, 1.5 amps. But in the meantime, check it out. LL Bean sent me a catalog. I wonder who they have me mixed up with. Whatever. Ugh, look at this horrible thing. This is circa the very beginning of the early 2000s. Now, the thing with these Radio Shack adapters, this is 12 volt, 1500 milliamp. You can change the polarity, of course, with those Adaptaplug tip things they had in those days. The reason why I have these is because the Casio power block on my keyboard, the center pin snapped off when I was in college. We took it to the local Radio Shack store and they sent it out for repair and modification. Basically, what they did was they modified it so it will take a standard standard DC type jack like that instead of that special size that Casio has. So it's actually worked out quite well, despite being powered by aftermarket power blocks. So ultimately, if I can find something that matches, maybe a 12 volt 2 amp, but it has to have a negative tip, that's the thing. So, or reverse the polarity on something or another. But I think there might be something smaller nowadays than those things. Yeah. Well, the interesting part is, while I was looking for AC adapters, I found my musical instrument accessories thing which has my my last sustain pedal that still worked. Horrible Radio Shack piece of crap, but I've got it hooked up to the keyboard now, so now I have a proper sustain pedal for softer stuff. I'm thinking of actually combining old with the new. I've got my teenage keyboard, but I'm thinking of combining it with a tablet app or something to learn to play more formally rather than the claw chord stuff that I kind of taught myself when I was a teenager. We'll do some of that a little later on. For now, though, we just gotta get this to the point where we can start tinkering with stuff on this desk again, even if we have the monitor turned off to the side so it's not like a mirror all the time and stuff like that. Well, it's better than it was. Definitely. But I think we should round this all out with goofing around with the keyboard now that I have a better setup for it than I have in quite some time. Of course, I do have to throw out that MIDI kit cable, but it was never all that great to begin with. It kept introducing lag when I tried using it with the computer. I'll have to see if there's something beefier or better, or maybe it's time for a new keyboard after all these years. Okay, how about some proper attire for this MultimediaJay stuff? So, anyways, it's kind of an awkward camera setup anyways. It's not really enough room to get a good shot of this unless I were to turn it and then be kind of facing the other way. But we'll worry about that later. We're just doing some goofing around for the remainder of this whole thing. So my history with music is pretty rocky. I had one of those Funds Challenge school districts that I grew up in. So my background in music is horrid as far as the formal stuff goes. I think it's like Every Good Boy Deserves Fudge or something like that, and then Face. So that's pretty much what I remember at this point. Never really remember the music classes being all that great if I, say, wanted to be a professional musician or something. Nearly everybody I knew growing up was, everybody I knew growing up who got into music just got in because they were curious. They picked up a guitar, they picked up a set of drums, they picked up a keyboard, and so in my case, because of this, what I know is kind of like two-finger typing. So what happened was, one day I found a thing full of chords, and I'm like, let me try doing this claw thing and pressing these three at the same time. And so this is kind of like, you know, when you do two-finger typing for the first time, so it's probably not the way you're even supposed to have your hands on this darn thing. But getting the dust off of this, the buttons are going to start working again as I use them more. That seems to be the way that they are. So I got to just start pushing it a bunch of times and get this to go. But ultimately, that whole claw, 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 claw evolved into something a little more improvised. But the thing is, it doesn't let me read any sheet music because I'm still looking at the keys, much like how my two-finger typing days before touch typing is like da-da-da-da-da-da. Once you learn how to touch type, though, you don't actually have to look at the keyboard anymore. What if I could do something like that here? But nonetheless, I was a big fan of the transpose button because I could be a lazy ass and not learn how to play any of the keys except C and G. Of course, I did know somebody. Of course, the thing is, anything I've done with music is like an offshoot of technology, and this is a great example of that. I was fascinated by 80s keyboards with tons of sounds in them, and this is a 90s keyboard with tons of sounds in them, and it's probably going to sound that way too. Alright. always hit that bottom note like this. Not exactly the piano, guys, and not exactly that little girl in Japan who plays the entire Back to the Future soundtrack on electronic organ. She can barely reach the pedals, and she's like, you know, do-do-do-do-do-do. I'll post a link in the description. So, I guess there is some hope for the music setup after all, if I can get some better sounds. I mean, these sounds are totally out of 1998. Let's see. Oh, there we go. That's like the rock organ from Mario Kart 64. Then again, this keyboard is contemporary to that. Whatever. Let's change tunes without having to... Dude, that's not how it goes. No rap record sounds on this thing, unfortunately. The one I had before it had that as well. 1, 3, 6. Yay, string piano. Of course, the user tones are kind of... The easiest instrument in the world to play is actually close to 120. What's this? It's supposed to be do-ah. But let's get back to... No, not that. It's supposed to be an applause. Thank you! I'm here all week! Get like Wesley Willis here. Actually, where's Seashore? Since we mentioned Wesley Willis, which of these 8 beats was it? Nope, it's 8-beat. I know it's that. I know that. Oh, Casio chord. Let's put it to C. McDonald's will make you a blubber ass. McDonald's is stupid. McDonald's is better than Pizza Hut. I'm making up random stuff about McDonald's so I can call it a song. McDonald's is a song. McDonald's is a song. McDonald's is a song. Oh man, I better knock that off. That's becoming a dated reference nowadays, so punch it into Google or YouTube and you'll get the joke. But that's enough of that. As I say, I have to dust this thing off and get some kind of hookup going where I can actually use it to make something that actually sounds better than this. Or just use the app to learn how to play piano on 000 and play the keys the right way instead of just claw, push, da-da-da-da. I'm particularly interested in whether I can get past the whole left-handed thing, because I have da-da-da-da-da-da, but I'm only doing a few things on my other hand, so tickling the ivories, well, plastics, whatever, is something I should definitely look into. Get the tablet over here. But I'll poke around with that sometime when you folks aren't watching, so you don't have to see me, what? How do we do this again? Till next time, this is MultimediaJay, signing off. Thanks for stopping by.